Uniswap, at least version 2, because I haven't looked at version 3 yet, by having a illiquid central limit order book that somehow that Oracle price gets pushed into the Uniswap. Anyway.
Have you ever heard the phrase, the tail wagging the dog?
Yes.
In my expert opinion, the central limit order book prices that are very thin order books compared to the real order book, the real order book sets the price. I'll explain to you the mechanics of why that works that way. If you have a thick order book and a thin order book, and the thin order book has a wrong price, you would try and say, oh, the thin order book is manipulated, the price is high. Fine. You think the thin one's manipulated, the price is high? Fine. What that does is it creates a situation where anyone in the world that has an account on both systems can sell the high price and buy the cheap price. And so all fucked up disassociated order books do is enrich arbitrageurs.
Exactly.
That's all they do. And there will never be a sustained period of price differential in a free market, because you'll just be enriching the arb guy until he can't arb it anymore.
Right. And that's at least in the white paper.
So your theory that you can manipulate the hex price by pushing up a thin order book on some fucking exchange, it doesn't make any sense.
If everyone is using that to base their Uniswap price.
No one is using that. No one is using that. Mm-hmm. I don't advertise it. There's very few people that use it. Everyone uses Uniswap, but it's just, this paradigm is so new to you that your brain doesn't get it. All of the volume that matters.
The reason why, if you look at the reason why Uniswap was designed the way it was, because you can't do continuous limit order books on Ethereum for various reasons.
You previously couldn't do any kind of thing on Ethereum because the latency was so shit. I mean, DEXs had existed on Ethereum, like IDEX, for a year or two and had no volume. And then Uniswap made everything better. And I can tell you why that is. It's actually it's about order matching. The reason that order books on Ethereum sucked is because you would need to run a bot to set your prices to a real central limit order book. Maybe this is why you're stuck.
That's literally what I'm saying about.
I know that. And this is why you're stuck. Yes, because in the old days, the volume used to be on the real exchange, and then this shitty DEX would come along with no volume. And then to pretend to be relevant and to try and convince people to set limit orders there, they would have to try and maintain a sane price.
Yes.
And so people would individually have to run bots in order to get the price to be similar to the central limit. So they didn't get fucked selling way lower or buying way higher. Yeah. But all that got solved by AMM. The reason it got solved by AMM is because you don't have people trading versus each other anymore. You have a market maker, a liquidity provider, making it so that whenever you want to trade, there's always liquidity there. And at a constant moving price, there's no gaps. And the movement, and this is V2 I'm talking about, it was totally symmetrical. You had as much buy pressure as you had sell pressure. And that was the innovation. There would always be someone willing to trade with you. No one would have to run a bot to maintain price. The reason that automated market makers are successful is because they solved that no one has to run bots. It's its own oracle. It doesn't need to act. It doesn't need to read anybody else's shit. It doesn't care. It's its own oracle because it can move its own prices because of the constant product X times Y equals K system. So now they changed that with V3 because it's more capital efficient. The problem with always having the ability to trade at any price is that all the money way out of the money on the bid and all the coins way out of the money on the ask, they're not being used to give people better deals on trades. They're just sitting there unused. It's capital inefficient. So with Uniswap V3, you can compress the range at which you're providing liquidity and amplify the amount of money that you're going to make because you're a larger percentage of the liquidity at that level. And then you can get the same amount of profit with a lot less money by concentrating the liquidity in a certain level. Now, there's a downside to that too, which is if the price moves past that level, those fuckers are going to start getting bad deals because there's no liquidity left there. And people might have to rebuy higher. So I've taught you a lot of stuff in this. Like you learned about V3 having limit orders. You learned about the convenience of always interacting with
price. Do you actually put a price into?
Yes, I can do it with you. Right? Why don't I just show you live? I can just show you how to do it real quick. Just go to app.uniswap.org. This is a really useful tool, man, because instead, like you can set limit orders on matcha.xyz, but they make arbitrage bots rich because the price on Uniswap or other automated market makers is going to have to move far enough away from your price in the order in the limit book that an arbitrage bot makes money selling that and buying yours.
Okay, so I'm looking at the
version. If you do it on this, you don't make an arb bot rich.
I'm looking at the version 2 white paper. Sure. And it says We don't need price oracles.
Why the fuck are you reading a white paper when I can take you to show you how to do it live?
We don't need oracles because the arbitragers, if the price is off, the arbitragers will trade Uniswap to make the price correct, which means that it itself doesn't have price discovery. It relies on external price.
For things that already have larger markets outside Uniswap, that is correct. For things whose largest market is Uniswap, that is incorrect.
Okay.
The largest order book wins, period. Because you run it. The reason the largest order book wins always is because you run out of energy in the thin order book to try and arb the other one the other direction. The tail cannot wag the dog. The thickest order book always wins.
Equal, if they're both order books were equal, true. But I don't think Uniswap is a real order book. So,
bro, it's the thickest order books in all of cryptocurrency. You have to update your worldview. Those days are gone. They're literally expired. Uniswap does more volume than Coinbase on 3 of its fucking ETH USDC pairs. So V2, V3, and some other fucking one.
I know it does volume, but it doesn't mean it creates price. That's all I'm saying.
Dude, you understand price is just the amount of units that one person traded for another person's units.
Right. And price
They're just 2 people trading.
Price discovery.
2 people can trade on a fucking notebook.
I know.
They can trade on playing dice. They can fucking
but when you have all the liquidity coming together at one spot with a limit order book, you create what's called price discovery, which is an equilibrium of the market finding price.
That's not what price discovery means. Price discovery is just the iterative process of people doing the same stupid thing of buying and selling over and over again.
Right.
Until the volatility has reduced, where you arbitrarily decide that, oh, in this rainbow of gradient and this gray to black, this is where I say the price has been discovered. But in fact, there is no actual end point for price discovery. It's continuous. Function.
Yes, we know that.
So why don't I just show you how to set a limit order on UniV3, bro? Go ahead. And you could actually make money out of this call. So go to app.uniswap.org. This is the future, man. Like, this is where all the volume is. This is where all the liquidity is.
If it was the future, okay, so if it was the future, you wouldn't have flash bots and MEV, right? I mean, it's basically it's Wall Street 2.0.
Flashbot solves MEV. You just named 2 things that are opposites of each other.
Flashbot solves MEV? Flashbots?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, I'll explain it to you. MEV, miner extracted, you don't know. Let me teach you. It'll take 2 minutes. MEV is miner extracted value. The miners go, oh, look, this guy wants to buy at this price. This guy wants to sell at this price. We can front run their trade or order their trades differently so that we can inject our own trade to make money. And then other people went, oh, well, shit, we can do that. And we'll just pay you extra and bid up the price for gas. And that's what they would do. They just keep bidding up the gas price higher and higher to bribe the miners to let them front run and sandwich other people's orders and automated market makers. Oh, some guy wants to buy. We'll buy before him. We'll sell right after him.
Exactly.
He'll get a shittier price and we'll steal his money.
That's why limit order books don't work, right?
Anything that has latency has this problem. It doesn't matter whether it's a cloud or
it's order dependency that's the problem. I
understand
order dependency.
I'm familiar with transaction ordering as a computer science problem. So the solution is flash bots. Flash bots is the opposite of MEV. Flash bots allows you to secretly place your trade without making it public so that you can't get sandwiched. And then you bribe the miner with a bid. And the miner doesn't know it's actually in your sealed transaction block. It just knows whether it's going to accept your bid or not. And it accepts the bids based on the efficiency of how much ETH it can get per transaction size in kilobytes.
I get it.
So Flashbots is the solution to miner extracted value.
Right. But if let's just say the miner himself is the one that's running the bot. So
and they usually are. Sure.
Right.
Yes.
So he doesn't need to bribe anyone. So right. So
no, but he still gets paid by other people. Like he has his own gig and then he gets paid by other people as well. So Flashbots solves MEV. It's the literal solution to MEV because people can't front run you when they don't know what you're doing because it's in a sealed bid. You have no idea what Flashbots is. You should research it. It's really cool because it solves MEV. There's other ways to solve MEV that I know that you don't know that I could teach you right now. ArcherSwap. ArcherSwap is an automated market maker like Uniswap that uses Flashbots so that people can't sandwich you and front run you and fuck you. And you know who used ArcherSwap when he needed to dump some coins? Vitalik. So I'm here teaching you shit you don't know that you can profit from.
Yeah.
And I would appreciate it if you would respect me for that. because all you've ever shown me is
would you like
fucking
me to
hate
teach
for
you,
no
would you like
reason.
me to teach you how to solve MEV? Would you like me to teach you, or are you even like,
There's a bunch of
are
different
you
ways to
even
solve it.
humble enough to even listen?
I already looked
You
at your
already know
GitHub, dog,
everything.
and I already read your
At
fucking
GitHub?
little
No, you
intro. I
Okay,
already
you looked at
went
my
to your
GitHub, but
fucking
you
little
didn't.
intro on your GitHub that you linked to off of your fucking profile in your Twitter. I don't need you
Okay.
to show me your DEX. I get it. I read it. Because unlike you, I actually
How
do
does
my
it work?
research.
How does it work?
It's another DEX. I don't. I'm not giving you the opportunity to shill. You called me a piece of shit. You called me
Shill?
fraudulent. You called me
Shill?
my price and
What am I
hex
shilling? What am I shilling?
Listen,
I asked you if you want me to teach you.
you
I asked
were
you if you want
so
me to teach you
shitty
how to
that I
solve
gave a
MEV.
guy with 1,700 views an opportunity to
Oh,
talk.
dude, I don't give a fuck about views, man. Shut the fuck up, please. Views. Come on. You're kidding me.
So can we predict the future real quick?
Yes, 1 year.
When are
from
the
now.
Hexicans going to be harmed? Because right now they're just living the fucking dream, buying Rolexes and yachts. And
I don't know. I think it's going to be a slow burn. It's a long
slow burn.
It's a long.
So like what other coin? Like is there a coin that's done the slow burn thing before? So I can
No. You're a pretty smart guy, dude. I'm not saying you're not. I know you are.
I just want to know. I want to know when you'll know when you're wrong. I want you to know.
I thought we have a year
wrong.
from now. Bitcoin's not going to be at 10,000, right? That's easy, right?
I'm pretty sure we covered more ground than just that. Sure, that's a good one.
Okay, I mean,
do you have anything else? But by the way, this is me taking risk, making a statement about the future. This is not you taking risk. This is you being cowardly. Why don't you make some statements about the future so that when you're wrong, you can feel bad?
So the problem is it's hard to make a statement about the future price of Hex because I believe it's manipulated. That's my problem. So
you understand that you can see every single account that actually bought the price up.
I know you could see it on Uniswap, right?
So
listen, if Hex was trading on Bitstamp or Coinbase, right, with liquid books,
call them and get them to list it.
Then right.
So when I launch an exchange,
yeah,
will you consider that acceptable? Like, will the volume on that central limit order book be okay? Well, that'll probably be manipulated too.
Well,
you're just like a guy that says the Earth is flat, and you show him an airplane, and you're like, "Look, it's round. We can see it." And then you're like, "Nah, it's fake." You can see who's buying up the Hex price.
I understand. I understand the sophistication of the project, right? And I understand that it's not easy for me to prove anything about Hex, so I'm not going to try. All I'm saying is that I don't believe that the price of Hex is reflected is when you say the word price, it means what other people think it means, and it gets them to buy. When really Hex is designed for low float and for the price to go up and all the volumes on Uniswap. So,
yeah, that's awesome. We removed middlemen. We removed counterparty risk. We removed slippage. We removed spoofing. This shit's all awesome. I don't understand how a guy that's in cryptocurrency that's been in it for apparently a long time doesn't see the amazing innovation here. You understand that like decentralized exchanges are better than centralized exchanges, right?
I disagree. Yeah.
So
I don't think flashbots. I don't think
billions of dollars.
I don't think exactly. So here's the problem. So DEXs solve for. There's two utilities of exchanges: price discovery and settlement. Right. So DEXs have been solving the settlement part, this decentralized settlement, so you don't have centralized risk. But they haven't solved price discovery. Is my thesis. So you could
that would be accurate for things that weren't primarily traded on the DEX, like Ethereum. Ethereum is primarily traded on DEXs. It's the order book, the thickest order book in the world, with no fake scam volume, with nobody getting free. When you go to exchanges, they have certain users that don't pay money and fees. Yes, and they can shit up the volume all the fuck they want.
I know that's a problem. So guess what? I've solved the problem of centralized and decentralized exchanges. That's what I'm working on, right?
You would be much better at working at whatever you're working on if you didn't try and step to the king and shit talk the best project ever exists, bro. You should love Hex, not hate it. It's amazing. Seriously.
It just maybe change your marketing, I mean, the price is just
go to a different page. If you go to hex.com/techspecs, there's no price.
Weak sauce. It's just weak sauce with the price with 11,000%. It really is. I mean,
go 11,000%. It's up
whatever it is.
170,000%.
Doesn't matter.
170,000%.
170,000%.
Yes,
I get it. Right.
And you're gonna feel bad when it's up 1,000,000%.
I have Bitcoin. I'm fine.
What didn't Bitcoin lose to this year? Ethereum beat it by 3x. Doge beat it by like 30 million X.
Yeah.
What didn't beat Bitcoin this year? EOS. EOS didn't beat Bitcoin this year, but everything else did. Absolutely.